Welcome back to the Clydesdale Media Podcast. My name is Scott Schweitzer. I am your host, and we are so privileged to have Manon Angonese with us today, Rogue Qualifier. We are doing a special series on everybody qualifying for Rogue. So Manon, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you are so interesting. You have competed under two different flags, Luxembourg and Belgium. Can you
Yes.
tell us the story of that?
Before I used to work in Luxembourg, and I used to train in a CrossFit box in Luxembourg. But at this moment, it was in 2016 and 17. CrossFit only take the flag of the box you represent, not about your nationality. But I'm Belgian, and since they changed that, now I represent Belgium. As simply as that.
Yeah. So you were born in Belgium?
Yes.
And where do you live there now?
I live in Belgium, in the south of Belgium.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
And do you represent a gym there, or are you independent?
I represent my gym, but it's a non-affiliated gym. It's a garage gym, a very small one,
Okay.
community.
Is that what you're in now?
Yes.
That does not look small.
Not on the video, but it's not big.
Okay. Okay. So you've been in the sport a very long time. I think your first open was 2016.
Yes, I started CrossFit in January 2016.
And you came from a background of show jumping?
Yes, exactly.
So you are the third athlete that we've had on who started in show jumping and went to CrossFit.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, Jacqueline Dahlstrom and
Yes,
Annika Greer.
yes. Yes, I know.
Both are show jump. So what is it about show jumping and horses that leads you to CrossFit?
Responsibilities first, because especially for me, I started to work very young. My only dream was when I was a little girl was to be an international show jumper. So I started to ride at 4 years old, and then at 15 years old I decided to stop school and to start to work and to leave home, to start to ride into international shows for many horse rider. And when you start very young with no money in your pockets, you have to take your responsibilities, and you have to sacrifice a lot also. So I have the notion of sacrifices and the notion of responsibilities.
Because that is not an inexpensive sport. That is very expensive.
Yes, it is.
Horses are a beautiful animal, but they are not cheap.
Yes, yes. The horse is cheap, and all around the horse is not cheap.
Yeah. So have you always been an animal lover?
Yes, always.
And you're the mother of 2 dogs and a cat?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I think we saw one of your dog children right before we went on the air. Are they
Yes,
with you right now?
yes. She's always around me. I don't know where is she now. She's not far, but she will come back, I'm sure.
So what kind of dogs do you have?
I have 2 Jack Russells.
Oh, cute.
Yes.
So all the co-hosts on this show have dogs.
Yes.
We are big dog lovers on this show.
Yes. Yes. I understand totally.
Yeah. Nothing like a dog snuggle when you come home from a hard day at work.
Exactly. Yes. And when you come back from a long competitions, and that's the best thing when you go back home, it's to see them and to hug them.
And they're always excited to see you.
Yes, always. Yes.
So my next question is, as I looked you up and did some research, there's a lot of shark things around you,
Mhm.
white shark in particular. I think you have some tattoos.
A lot.
And yeah. So what is your connection with the great white shark?
First, the great white shark is my totem animal for many reasons, but the bigger one, it's because it's the only animal on Earth you can't put in a cage or in an aquarium. If you do that, the white shark just kill himself. It's the only animal on Earth, and it's the only species of sharks who does that. So they need a total liberty, and that's totally what I am.
So how many shark tattoos do you have?
I think around 10.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So when I was in college, I had an aquarium and I was at the pet store and they were selling mini sharks and they were only like this
Yes.
big. And I thought it was the coolest thing and I got it and I had a frog in my tank. That was the only two things in my tank.
Yeah.
The shark would not leave my frog alone.
Yeah.
My frog had to burrow himself into the rocks to
Mhm.
hide from the shark. But even this big, they swam with that like swagger.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so cool. So
Yes.
cool. You also sell shirts at Barbell Regiment.
Yes. Yes. We used to work together 1 or 2 years ago. Yeah.
And they're still selling some shirts out there of yours.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that.
If you
But
want,
yeah,
I can bring some in USA during Texas if you want some.
okay. Awesome. So are you working with any apparel companies now?
Yes, I'm working with Northern Spirits.
Okay. That shirt you have on says a lot in 2 words.
Yes, it's the programming I work with now. It's the programming of André Houdet. You know him?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We had him on a few months ago.
Yes. So I'm working with him since 3 months now.
Okay. And what's that been like? Because he's famous for coaching himself and doing his own programming.
Mhm.
How has it been as one of his athletes?
I really love his programming, and it's really, really well building. He's someone very methodic. He's very, we call it in French, very très carré, so very square. Like this, very, very strict. That's what I like with this programming. Is.
So, is it very individualized for you?
Mhm. No, it wasn't. It's now for the Rogue Invitational, but usually I just follow the programming of No Shortcuts.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I change some kind of things. I need to practice more or less. I also have a lot of weightlifting because I'm also a weightlifter. So I have an individual's programming in weightlifting with a Canadian coach. But basically, I follow the programming like it is on the website.
So, gosh, I have so many questions. I have the Olympic weightlifting on here in my notes. Let's go that direction. I read, I think it was on Northern Lights website that your goal is to compete in the CrossFit Games and make the Paris 24 Olympics.
Yes, that's the goal. We will see if it's possible to make it together, but that's the goal.
Okay. What is your primary focus right now, weightlifting or CrossFit?
CrossFit.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you've competed in weightlifting, you finished 7th in Europe and
Yes.
14th in the world in your weight class. So
Yes.
you're not too shabby.
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm far from the first place because, let's be honest, girls in my categories, well, all the girls in weightlifting are really, really strong. But my goal is just to do my best with what I can in weightlifting. I didn't start weightlifting young enough to be on the very top of the categories, but I'm sure I can still gain some, maybe 5 kilos or maybe 10 in a good day. But yes, I just want to see how far I can go, but without the expectation to win the Olympics, for example.
So how does it work in Europe to qualify for the Olympics? Is there a qualification just in Belgium, or do you have to compete at like a European championship and it's so many of those athletes?
No, we have to compete at all the European championships, of course. Then we have to compete in the World Championships 2022, 2023. And we have to do the World Cup in 2024, a little bit before the Olympics. And yes, we have to compete at all the events and to keep our finger crossed for being on the top 12, because it's only 12% now.
12 from all of Europe?
All of the world.
All of the world?
Yes, they changed it.
Oh.
They changed it for Paris. They reduced the numbers, and maybe 2028 will be the last Olympics for weightlifting. So they just want to put us outside of the Olympic system. Yes.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yes.
Because that's one of my favorite events to watch. I didn't know much about the qualification process. So thank you so much for clearing that up.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome.
So when it looks, so your CrossFit career in 2021, you made semifinals and finished 8th at Lowlands.
Mm-hmm.
And then you finished 6th in the last chance qualifier.
Yes.
So very, very close.
Very, very close, but everything was online, So when everything is online, you can't really compete against each other. So you just have to do your absolute best, but alone at home, and it's not the same. I'm sure that in 2021, if we had in-person semifinals, I'm sure I could be on the 5, but online it's totally different.
Yeah, because 2020, you technically qualified for the CrossFit Games.
Technically.
And then that got taken away with COVID.
Yeah.
Then 2021, everything was online, so very difficult. And then your off-season work this year has been impeccable. Like I think you won the German Throwdown in 21. You took 3rd at Madrid. And
Yes.
now you won the Rogue online qualifier.
Yes, exactly.
So you're trending in a really good direction.
Yes, I try to. Sometimes I take some wrong directions, but when I do bad results, for example, I always used to change what I need to change it, and I'm good to know what I need to do and what I need to change. So, and it works pretty well. Sometimes not, but usually it works pretty well.
So you win the Rogue Qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
Your lowest finish was 7th in any of the 4 events.
Yeah.
Did you get caught up in any of the rules, the appeal process? I know a lot of athletes that we've talked to had to appeal decisions.
Yes. First, when we received all the workouts, we studied all what we had to do exactly, because it's a very complicated competition, online competition, I mean, because you have to weight your weight, you have to show all the equipments, you have to measure it, you have to... It's crazy. It's you have to be sure about everything. It's the first time I have an online competition like this, but it's good because people can't cheat like that, so it's good. But I basically had no problem except the weight of the barbell in workout number 1. It was 65 lbs in USA. And for us, 65, it always was 29 kilos, always, since forever, it always was. during CrossFit Open, CrossFit quarterfinals. In every kind of conversion you can find on internet, it's 29. And when you do the conversion on your phone or on internet, it's 29. So we all did the workout with 29 kilos, all the Europeans, I mean. And then looks like that they changed it during the weekend for 30 kilos. But we received no emails about that. And they changed it during the weekend. So for us, if we received no email, we don't have to know about that, the change, you know. So we made an appeal with all the Europeans girls, and yes, they changed their mind. Yes, thank you for that. And then now it's okay.
So how long did you have to wait for that decision?
Not so long, maybe 24 hours, not more.
So that's
Well, it
it's
was
still
too.
got to, yeah, it's got to be a stressful 24 hours.
Yes, totally.
So what was your favorite of the 4 events?
The clean and jerk one.
Yeah, and you took second. That was one of your second place finishes. That took from what I hear, because you had to weigh every bar, every weight in that ladder, it took longer to do the weighing than it did to do the workout.
Exactly. During this workout, I presented myself. I just showed the equipment, and then I asked to the guys who were there for me to load my barbell. I asked them to do the weighting to the camera, and then I started just to bike a little bit to stay warm, you know, because it took at least 30 minutes to weight everything. So I can't do that by myself. So guys just did that for me, and I was biking during all the stuff.
It's great that you had that support. I've asked other athletes this question. Is it more stressful to video the workout or to do the workout?
To video the workout. Yes.
Yeah. Are you worried during a workout ever that the battery runs out or the film stops?
Yes, totally. But I changed my iPhone 1 year ago just for that. You know, I don't need a very special iPhone because I only use it to take some pictures and the videos for the online qualification. So I took an iPhone with the most memory I could find, only for that. But I don't only for that, to be sure.
That's crazy. It is
Yes.
so I mean, COVID kind of brought out all this online stuff and even intensified the requirements for video submission. And now you have people like Hiller that are picking and nitpicking the movements on these things. I cannot imagine the stress involved in all of that.
Yes, totally. And CrossFit has evolved a lot about that. If you look out, for example, 5 or 4 years ago, online qualifications wasn't really like that. It was like you had a workout to do, just catch it in the camera, but whatever the floor plans, whatever the rest, whatever the measurement, they just want to see the weight, and that's okay. But now everything has changed because they noticed it that a lot of people cheated. So now we have floor plans, we have to show all the weights, we have to use special kind of barbells, we have to use special kind of rowers. It's more details, and of course it's more pressure.
But in some ways, it's better for you, the good athlete, the good mover, the person that does everything they're supposed to do, because it eliminates all of that, all of the people trying to game the system from the leaderboard.
Yes, totally agree about that. Yes, but for example, me, I'm an athlete, but uh, I'm lucky that I have my boyfriend around me and I have some friends around me to help me with this kind of things. Because if you're alone, it's pretty impossible to perform at your best.
Yeah, I can see that, and I can see where you would be better as an in-person athlete because you get that immediate feedback from a judge, You don't have to worry about setting all the stuff up. And if they give you a no rep, you can know immediately why and correct it in the moment.
Yes, exactly. It's way easier to compete in person than online.
Yeah. So I know that Rogue has provided a travel stipend for all the athletes, but in my research, it's very expensive to go from Belgium to Texas.
Is it from Europe, basically, not especially Belgium, but is it from Europe? Rogue help us, so it's great. It's really helpful, but I don't have the plan to arrive just 2 days before the competition. I have the plan to arrive at least 1 week before, because it's 8 hours time change for us, and it's a different climate. It's almost winter in Belgium. And in Texas, it will be around 30 degrees Celsius for us. So it's like the very big summer, Belgian summer in Texas. So I have to go at least 1 week before. So yes, that's expensive.
So the reason I asked that is I know that you have a GoFundMe page to help
Yeah.
support your trip to Texas. And I wanted to show the viewers that if they wanted to donate to help you out. So I'm going to share my screen just real quick.
Yes, we did a GoFundMe with my boyfriend simply because of that. I know we will win some money. Oh yes, you are showing the page now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so yes, we will win some money during the competition. I know that, but we will be taxed very much in Belgium. Actually, Belgium is the country where we are the most taxed on Europe. So yes, probably I will win if I am last $5,000, but in my pocket I will have $3,000 and 50 and 500, something like that. So it's a lot of money, and we will have to pay the plane tickets. We have the Rogue stipends for that, but we have to pay the location during the week before, not the hotel during the competition. That's good because they paid for us too. But we will have to pay a car rent. Sorry. Then we have to pay food. We have to pay everything we're gonna need there, and so yes, it's a lot of money because I'm a self-employee in Belgium. I own my gym here, but it's a passion, but it's not the way to gain a lot of money and to keep a lot of money on the side. So yes, I just need a little bit help, but it works because some people already gave some money, and I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, so if our listeners want to donate, it's a GoFundMe page. It's Manon Angonese trip to Rogue Invitational. Check that out, and if you feel so inclined, donate a few dollars to help her with her trip. And then you could blow it up there and finish much higher and give Belgium more tax.
Of course, yes. A giant. More you gain, more they take, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So you did really well in that. We talked about the GoFundMe page. What are you most excited about going to the Rogue Invitational?
I am excited to compete with a field I normally had to compete since 2019.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to come back to 2019 because you were a sanctional competitor that took advantage of all those opportunities. But it is the top field in the world, right? It's all of the top finishers from the CrossFit Games.
Mhm.
You're going to have more exposure at that event than probably any other event that you've been to.
Yes, totally, totally. I think it's the best opportunity of my career for the moment.
And it's actually becoming like the pinnacle of the competition season because of how Rogue treats the athletes.
Mhm. Yes, yes. Some people already told me that they are they take very care of the athletes, and that's super cool to hear. I'm really sure it will be an incredible experience.
And because there's only 20 women in the field, and the field is loaded, like there are no like prelim heats. It's going to be all top dogs. So everybody watches every heat of every event
Yeah.
because there's names throughout the whole lineup.
Yes, that will be interesting. That will be good for me because that's my goal. I want to people know me. Okay, I'm here since a long time now, and I'm I I still didn't have the chance to compete at the games for many reasons, but not especially about my fitness. But now it's my turn. It's my chance, and I want to people know my name.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a great opportunity at that. And you also get to test yourself. You get to know where you're at in your training
Yeah.
and how you finish against this lineup.
Yes. Exactly.
So, do you look at this with a goal of finishing a certain place or as a learning experience to help you with next season?
Um, I don't have any expectation about winning or finish 5 or 10, or I just want to compete with those girls and to see where I am, and to yes, to gain experience for next year, because definitely next year it's the year I will make it to the CrossFit Games. I hope the bad luck is over now. I hope it's my year this year. So yes.
So, the other thing Rogue is famous for is the amount of swag or stuff they give the athletes. Are you excited? Have you seen what happens at Rogue in the past?
Yes, I saw that they reserved some cowboy hats, some Santiago's also. So yes, that will be interesting. I'm a North Rider, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, so when I actually volunteered for Rogue last year as a volunteer, and I was in that swag area for when all the athletes came in. Go Ruck was there giving away tons of stuff. Other sponsors were there giving away tons of stuff, and then of course the cowboy hat, the cowboy boots, the
Yeah.
belts, the all of that.
The
It was awesome.
looks like.
And they treated every athlete like they were a supermodel. I got to try on everything, got everything fitted just for them, and it was really cool.
Yes, I'm excited. I already was, but I think I am more excited now.
So, is your boyfriend going with you?
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's good because you needed a partner to carry all of the stuff you get.
Yes, yes, that's his role.
There you go. The other thing is you talked about how Belgium is cooler than Texas.
Yes,
The crazy
wait.
thing that the crazy thing I experienced was in the daytime, it was really, really hot, but the minute the
Mhm.
sun went down, it got cold.
Okay.
So just a little tip
Yeah.
from someone who was there last year.
Yeah.
Uh, those those events under the lights are very cool. They're cool to
Yes.
watch, and it's very cool on the field.
Okay. It's cool. That's great for me. That's great for me because yes, you say it's cool, but in Belgium it's way cooler. So I don't think it will be too cool for me.
Okay. Well, good. You'll like that. So I want to go back to 2019, and I want to talk a little bit about that because you did 4 sanctionals that year. French Throwdown, Lowlands, um, Italian, and Dubai.
Yes.
Did you like that format better than what we have today, or do you like today's format better?
I like that format a lot because you have the chance to compete a lot, and I really love to compete. You have the chance to choose your date, to choose your location, to choose where you want to compete. I really like it, this format. Yes.
And it was an opportunity for a pro CrossFit athlete to make money.
Yes, totally.
And, at the end of the day, you're trying to support yourself and live out your dream.
Mhm.
So money has to factor into that.
Yes. Yes.
But we're kind of stuck with the new system, and we haven't really heard what next year's going to look like. The rule book's supposed to be out next month or the following month, so
Mhm.
hopefully we'll know soon. Um, but in this new format, how do you gear up and taper yourself so that you're ready for the important moments?
Yes, about the actual formats, yes, it's the online part I still don't like, to be honest. But we have to do it. It's not for us. It's not too much pressure. Open are pretty easy to do. Then quarterfinals, yes, you have to be focused. You have to be fit, but it's not. If you're a good athlete, it's not that hard to be on the top 60. But everything is played on the semifinals. But the only fact I don't really like is that, for example, if you are sick during the open, imagine you are super sick during the open, you just can't move, you just can't do one workout because you are too sick for that. Your season is fucked up. And
Uh,
it's just fucked up. You can't do anything more. It's over. Game over.
and that can happen at any point during the season, quarterfinals, semifinals,
Yes.
and you have to be ready for that one weekend,
Mhm.
or it's over.
Yes, and that's what I don't really like about it, and that's what I liked about the format we had in 2019. If you missed one, you can do another and another and another, and you still have the chance to pursue the ticket. And but well, I don't choose the rules.
Right. And then in 2019, you finished second in Belgium, right?
Yes, behind Carmen,
So,
last year of Carmen.
okay. Yeah, that you were so close in so many instances along the way to making it to the games.
Yes.
Um, how much pressure do you put on yourself to make the games every year?
Um, Not too much bad pressure. It's just an obsession, but it's not a bad pressure like I will miss it. I'm not fit enough. It's not about. It's not negative pressure.
Okay. I like that. It's not pressure, it's an obsession, and it's just something it's a dream of yours.
Yes, it is.
Just like me and this podcast is an obsession for me. I want this to be so successful. And I work day and night on this thing because it's what I love.
Yes, that's your baby, and to make it to the CrossFit Games is my baby also. So,
Right. Right. So I also want to talk about the mountains. So a little behind the curtain, I reached out to you a couple weeks ago, and you said you were headed to the mountains, and when you got back, we could talk. I pictured in my head a little cabin, just kind of hanging out in the woods, relaxing, and then I see pictures of you on like a mountain top.
mhm.
So this was not just like a relaxing cabin in the woods. You
No.
mountain climb.
Yes, mountains are a big passion of mine. My father was a mountaineer, a professional mountaineer. And then he gave me the passion of mountains, and I started to go with him. But now I am tall enough to go there alone. And yes, mountaineering is something I used to do. It's not like crazy mountaineering. I don't take any crazy risk. But yes, it's always like everything I used to do in my life. It's always an obsession to go higher and higher and higher. And mountains are like that.
So is that how you decompress when
Yes.
you're on the mountain? Is it just relaxation for you?
Yes, it's a total relaxation because for me it's the only place I can think about anything about except about what I'm doing actually. Because when you are climbing a mountain, when you do mountaineering, you have to be totally focused on what you are doing. If not, you can die. So that's the only place where I am totally focused in the moment.
So other than the relaxation part of it, it also adds to your fitness, right? The last uh the last thing in the general CrossFit way is play other sports.
Yes.
And so you're getting outside the box. And I think last year's CrossFit Games, if it told us anything,
Mhm.
was get outside of the box
Yes.
and do other things. And that's what Boz's programming was all about.
Mhm. Yes, 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 totally. And I think it's good. It's good to change, because we used to see every time the same kind of combos and same kind of workout. But it was great to see some different events, to do some stuff more functional, like walking with a Husafel and some kind of thing. Yes, I think for me it's good.
Yeah, and carrying that Husafel up steps.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, like, right, it's one thing to carry it across a flat surface.
yes, but yes, totally
Yeah.
different.
Um, so when you're climbing a mountain, what what does that give you to help you in the CrossFit space? One, in my head, grip strength.
Yes.
Two, the ability to adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
Are there other things that happen?
Yes. The one of the most important is that when you are started to climb a mountain, you always look at the top, and very often you tell to yourself, "But it's so far. I will never make it to the top. It's way too far. It will take me 2 days to go there." But as simple of that, you just start to walk, you just start to climb, you go step by step, and without looking too much the top, just enjoying the way, and faster than you expected, you are at the top.
So enjoy the journey to the peak. Don't
Yes,
just think about the peak itself.
yes, mountains are a life lessons, definitely.
So what is the favorite mountain that you've climbed?
I always go in the Alps in France. Sorry. Uh, there's a lot of mountain I like to climb, but my favorite place is the Aiguille du Midi. I don't know if
Okay.
any submit there, but I like this place because you start from the Aiguille du Midi, and then you can go across the Vallée Blanche, the White Valley, and you can go across to, I think, 100 submits if you want.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, where I live, so I'm in the United States, northeast-ish
Mm-hmm.
in Ohio, and so we're flat. We have no mountains at all.
Yeah. But
I
it's
grew
flat.
up in Pennsylvania that has small mountains.
Mhm.
But my goal is to get to like Colorado in the Rocky Mountains, and because that's where I want to discover and look at and explore.
Yes, Colorado looks very beautiful.
Yeah. So, and I know the Alps are even bigger. So that's got to be just gorgeous when you get up there. And some of the pictures you took were amazing.
Yes, yes, I know. And on the picture, when you see the reality and then you take the picture and then you look at the picture, you're just like, no, it's not the same. I took a picture, but
Yeah.
not, it's not representative at all.
So, do you think when you're done with your like professional CrossFit and weightlifting career that you'll do more mountain climbing or less?
More, because I will have more time to do it. But I'm not sure that I will be done one day with the competition life. It's I love to compete, and if it's not in weightlifting or in CrossFit, I will find something else. I compete since I'm 4 years old, and I need to compete in something. So maybe I will compete in mountaineering, but it's not a competition life.
Do you have a hard time turning off your competitiveness?
Yes.
So you beat your boyfriend at everything?
No. And that's the problem. We already had some I don't know to call that in English, dispute.
Yeah.
Yes. For example, a few months ago we played in Monopoly together, and he won. And then I was just super mad for at least 2 days. It's ridiculous, but it's yes, I'm, and he's also a competitor. So sometimes it's interesting between us. Yes.
So it took you 2 days to get over a Monopoly loss.
Yeah, but it's a long story short. I will not explain the details here.
Okay. Oh, I am 52.
Yes.
That was my competitive nature for much of my life. I
Mm-hmm.
could not turn it off. And I've learned in my old age that sometimes it's better just to give in and let it go. But it's taken me a long, long time to get here.
Yes, maybe I need more time.
Yeah. It's probably the 25 years of marriage that has made it so I give in.
Yeah. Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
We are almost 10 years together, so maybe I need 15 more years to adapt.
Yeah. And then finally you'll get it, just like I did.
Yes.
It's not worth the fight all the time. Well, I am so excited for you, Manon. I can't wait to see you compete at Rogue. Regretfully, we're not going to be able to be there in person this year, but we're trying to do updates from Rogue. So if you have any spare time, we may be reaching out to athletes to jump on and let us know what's going on there.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for jumping on.
Thanks to you.